Welcome to our channel, in which we explore the strangest and most diverse experiences in the history of contribution. One of India's most mysterious and terrifying serial killers, known as Stone Man, arrived today. For a short period between 1985 and 1988, it reigned in a series of brutal destruction that touched the hearts of many. In this video, we will witness the details of these large figures, their victims, and how they managed to evade justice for several years. In the mid-1980s, India was witnessing major social and economic changes. However, there has been a growing problem with the increasing number of homeless people. These people, who lived on the streets of major cities, constituted a vulnerable group that did not arouse much attention from society. However, what no one knew was that one of these homeless people was about to become the victim of a ruthless criminal. Between 1985 and 1988, Stone Man committed more than 13 murders. All his victims were homeless people, and he brutally killed them. He used a large rock to crush their heads while they slept. This bold and horrific method made it difficult for the police to determine the pattern of the killer or even to identify him. Although the crimes were very similar, the investigations remained stuck in a vicious circle as investigators were unable to piece together the evidence needed to catch the killer. Victims were often found in private places, making it difficult to determine when the crimes occurred. However, in the midst of all this horror, one person survived this cruel ordeal. This survivor served as the only witness to Stone Man's crimes. He was able to tell horrifying details about the night he was attacked. He told how he suddenly woke up to find the killer next to him, and how he managed to escape. But despite his testimony, police were unable to use this information to identify the killer. Despite the great efforts made by the police, the investigations did not yield any tangible results. The authorities used their injections, earning him the nickname Stone Man. His methods of execution were characterized by extreme violence, as he beat the victims to death, leaving behind mutilated bodies. The crimes took place late at night, which helped the killer stay in the shadows for a long time. Although the crimes were committed in different areas of the city, there was a clear pattern, which was targeting homeless people who had no means of defending themselves. The police began receiving reports of these strange crimes, but had difficulty identifying the killer as there were no eyewitnesses. The police began conducting intensive investigations after the number of traction increased, and special task forces were formed to follow up on the case. Investigators tried
in the
to
haunting
collect
shadows of the
evidence,
bustling streets of
but
India
had difficulty
between the
finding
years
any
1985 and
information indicating
1988,
the identity
a
of the
silent
killer.
and ruthless predator prowled the
Various
night.
techniques were used,
Dubbed the
including
Stone
a
Man,
sketch of the
this
potential
unidentified killer
there
claimed the
was
lives
little
of more than
progress.
13 homeless individuals,
crimes
leaving a
alarmed
chilling
residents,
legacy of terror in his
and the
wake.
media began covering the story
His modus operandi
extensively,
was as unyielding as
contributing
the
to
stones
rising
he wielded.
tensions in the city.
As his victims
As the
slept
crimes
under the cover
continued,
of darkness,
in late
seeking the embrace of a
1988,
few hours of
the
rest
city
from their
of
daily
Mumbai
hardships,
began to
the
feel
Stone
an
Man would
increase in
descend
fear
upon
and
them.
panic.
With
There
a
have
cold
been a series of
detachment, he
mysterious
would choose his
attacks
rock of
targeting
execution, a
pedestrians in
large,
the dark
foreboding
streets.
stone, and without a whisper of
victims,
mercy,
who
he
were
would
walking
smash down
alone,
upon their
were
slumbering
attacked by an
forms,
unknown
obliterating
person,
their
and there were
aspirations
no
and
clear
lives in an
clues
instant.
as to what had happened.
The streets that were once
Other than
refuge
signs
turned
that
into
the killer
places of
had used a
fear and
large
suspicion,
stone
as
to
the
hit his
homeless
victims.
community whispered tales
The
of the
police
ghost that
launched
lurked
a
among them.
comprehensive investigation.
But despite the numerous
the deeper
victims
they
and the
delved,
singular
the more
survivor who
complicated
bore witness
things
to his
became.
grim facade, the
There were
identity
many
of the
rumors
Stone
and
Man
suspects,
remained an enigma.
But the real killer
Authorities
remained
were
out of
baffled,
sight.
chasing shadows
Here,
and
we will
scrutinizing
look at
every
some of the
slab
main
of stone.
characters in this
Yet the
story.
killer seemed to dissolve
From
into the
brave
very pavements he
investigators
haunted.
to the eyewitnesses who
The
lived
survivor's
those horrific
testimony,
moments.
fragmented by trauma, hinted
Investigations
at dark
continued
eyes,
for
an
several
indistinct
months,
face cloaked by
with
night.
many leads that led to no
It was
results.
never enough to lift the veil
Together,
of terror.
We'll look at the methods
The
the
Stone Man
police
vanished
used,
as spectrally
how
as
they
he
faced the
appeared,
challenges
his
in
identity
trying to catch
forever
Stone Man,
shrouded in the
and
shadows,
how the community
leaving behind a
responded to
trail of
these
bloodied
traumatic
cobblestones
crimes.
and fractured
As
families.
anxiety mounts in the city,
He remains among the most
unexpected
violent
turns
and
emerge in
elusive
the
serial killers
investigation.
known, a
We
spectral
will reveal
whisper
some
in
of
the
the
annals of
surprising
crime that
moments
still
and
sends
dramatic
shivers down the
developments
spines of those
that
who
changed
dare
the
walk
course
the
of the
nighttime
case,
streets
and
alone.
how they led to the mysterious
Even
ending
now,
that no one
many
expected.
believe that the cold breath
Was
of
the
the
killer
stoneman
caught
brushes
or
their
not?
skin when the night grows
The
quiet,
case still keeps
and the
its
stones
secrets to
beneath
this
their
day.
feet seem to echo with
Join
the
us in
whispers of those
exploring
lost
this
to the
exciting
darkness.
story, and share your opinions in the comments about what you think happened on those terrifying nights. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell to receive all new updates. Thanks for watching, and see you in another video where we explore more mysteries.